So I just need to rag on Marcus a little more here. Oh my gosh, his style. And I know, like, I mean, what is he? He's just such a dork. What is he wearing? At one point, he was wearing this like button-up, like short sleeve T-shirt with like a puffy white long sleeve underneath, and I just was literally sitting there shaking my head. After, mind you, this is after he shows up to Sasha's new house in San Francisco in his like work overalls, and he just rocks it. He's like doesn't seem embarrassed at all. He's just like, "What? Yeah, my name's Marcus. It's on my overalls." Like,
that's his uniform.
Because he was working.
Yeah, well, I mean, what?
You're not saying, okay, come on. I know I'm being harsh, but put yourself in this situation. Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of Straight to VHS, the Chris and Carson show. I'm Carson.
Hi, I'm Chris.
How you guys doing today?
Oh, I'm Kyle.
Oh, hi, Kyle.
Hi.
Here.
He's back.
Yep. You thought you got rid of me, but you're not that lucky.
Don't feel bad, Carson. I'm always forgetting him, too, so he just kind of pops up. Don't feel bad.
I don't worry.
Okay, wow.
Well, how you guys doing tonight?
I was doing all right.
I'm doing swell. No complaints.
Well, Carson, I guess, how are you? I mean, I don't know. Kind of feels... Anyway, how are you?
Well, Kyle, funny you should ask. Because I'm not doing well.
What?
I'm not doing okay. In fact, it's time for the debut of a new segment called What's Grinding My Gears?
Really,
Kyle?
That's like a real setup, Kyle. I feel like he set you up to set up this whole... It didn't feel like it. I don't think he actually cared how the two of us were doing. He just wanted to lead into this whole thing.
You know, I'm getting that sense too, but I think we just got to go with it.
Okay.
Literally, we talked before the show. I gave Kyle one line. I just said, "Hey, man, after I ask you how you're doing, just ask me how I'm doing." And he sat there for like 5 seconds, and I was like, "Wow, he's gonna blow it."
It did feel like a long time until I remembered, and that's because it was. I was like, "Oh, I need to ask." All right, you can put that one on me. One strike. All right, go ahead, Carson. How are you? Why are you bad?
Well, first, go ahead and give me the intro music to What's Grinding My Gears.
Well, dang. You're grinding. Why are you grinding your gears?
That was really bad.
That's as good as you're going to get right now when you put me on the spot. That was unfair. I have other things prepared later in the show, but when you set me up like this, no good.
Why? Just growing accustomed to your work. I mean, I feel like Chris has put you on the spot in the past before, and you've had some good little jingles.
Yeah, well,
mine wasn't even lyrical. I didn't sense any notes.
You reap what you sow, Carson. Show a little kindness, and maybe he'll step up next time for you.
All right. Well, so for this week's edition of What's Grinding My Gears, what's sure to be a staple here on Straight to VHS, you know, I don't know if you guys were aware, but the Super Bowl happened recently. And I enjoyed it. Good game. Fun game. Football. Also enjoyed the J-Lo Shakira halftime show.
Mm-hmm.
But gosh darn shoot heck, if they didn't forget someone from the Miami area, Mr. 305 himself, who maybe the people that put this on just took too literally his lyrics. I don't play football, but I've touched down everywhere. Pitbull was not a part of the Super Bowl halftime show, and I'm distraught. Hey!
You know what he could have played? It would have been perfect. He could have played his version of Africa by Toto that, of course, played before one of the greatest movies of all time, Aquaman. Not before, during middle, one scene. He could have played that. It would have been great. Would have gotten the crowd really jazzed.
And it would have gone along with Shakira's song for the World Cup of Africa. There's a lot of tie-ins that really they missed there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We should produce this thing next year. How do you go about producing the Super Bowl halftime show?
Well, I think it starts by producing this show here, the Chris and Carson show, straight to VHS.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's actually Jorge was there working on it. That was his next gig.
Oh, really? Good for him.
Right.
I was going to ask. Yeah,
Well,
I was going to ask how he's
show.
doing.
It's sort of a pipeline straight to VHS to the Super Bowl.
That's the only reason I'm here.
Anyway, Oi Loco, ven paca, Oi Loco, muévelo sin parar. We just missed out on all of it, and you know, he said, "Don't stop the party." Don't stop the party. But when they didn't stop the party, you think he would have liked to have been a part of it. So anyway, I just didn't want to go on. I didn't feel right, frankly, to start the show today without acknowledging that. I in fact didn't want to do a show, but Kyle said, no, Carson, like, we've got a platform, we've got to use it for the better. And so yeah, here we are. I just, Chris, what
hey,
other thoughts you got?
Kyle,
what's up?
do you mind giving me just a quick little intro jingle for something?
Yeah, for sure. Ooh, Chris's jingle for something.
Yeah, I'd like to jump on board this grinding my gears thing. What really grinds my gears is that we open our movie podcast talking about a Super Bowl halftime show. I don't know what we're doing. Every week, Carson, you try to introduce some new non-movie segment, and it's really bothering me.
Oh man, that is too good.
Knew that was coming.
Yeah, that was clearly going to be coming from Chris. But and Carson, at the risk of becoming a popcast, I do kind of agree that we should address this Pitbull situation, and I just don't know, where do we go from here.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Kyle. Obviously, to pick up, that was my very obvious transition away from this topic, so we could talk about the movie we all watched.
Already?
I feel like I didn't need to state it so verbally, but
All right.
Well, join us next time for our gambling podcast, Bankruptcy, where Kyle and I discuss all the money we lost on Pitbull appearing at halftime. Completely unrelated to this intro. But anyway,
right.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, so this week I got to choose the movie, thank you, and I chose Always Be My Maybe, starring Ali Wong and Randall Park, directed by, I gotta get this name right, I wrote it down, Nanachka Khan. Dang, that's apologies to the director.
Yeah. There's no way that's correct.
I would say that's probably a good bet. But it's a rom-com, came out on Netflix last year in May 2019, year of our Lord, and I just love a good rom-com, so I suggested it as the movie this week, and you guys happily obliged. And I had seen it before. I saw it when it came out, and I just really chose it because I want to hear your thoughts. So you guys just take it away, I guess, from the top. Just what were your initial thoughts on this romantic comedy?
Meh. I give it a meh.
Okay, Chris is a meh.
It was good for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Can I just say, sorry, Chris, to interrupt you.
No, that's the extent. Thank you for listening to the podcast. That's it, everyone. Tune in next week. Goodbye.
Sorry, Pitbull. Okay. So yeah. I just want to, before I give my own thoughts, Kyle, you're supposed to give a short plot summary of the movie.
Oh,
that's
that's what I was forgetting. Gosh dang it. Okay. Okay. So now that you already think Chris is a meh.
Change my mind.
I'm just gonna give you a plot summary. It's not gonna change your mind for a movie you've already seen. But it stars Ali Wong as a celebrity chef, and Randall Park as this kind of deadbeat kind of guy. And they knew each other growing up, and they were really close friends. And then they had one night in high school where they had sex, but then they grew apart. And then they, as chance would have it, except not really, because it was because of her friend that they got set up when she was moving back to open up a restaurant back to San Francisco where this takes place. And then Randall Park's working with his dad at this heating company, and so then they kind of go from there and have all the shenanigans of a rom-com. But I thought it was cute, and I'm kind of a sucker for these movies, so that's why I chose it. And Chris is right. I mean, rightfully, I'm not going to judge you. That you could be mad, but I think I probably enjoyed it more than you did.
Well, that was first off. That was a fantastic plot summary.
Yeah, good job, buddy.
Way to bounce back.
Knew you could do it.
Really?
Gold star.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but I thought it was pretty good.
Carson, are you okay? Carson,
go ahead.
Kyle's on record as a romantic comedy fan. I'm pretty indifferent to them. What's your take on romantic comedies?
I certainly think they have a time and place, and I like them. I think as a genre, they can be really fun. I have to say, I think there's a lot of like classics in the rom-com world that I just haven't seen. Like it wasn't until last year that I saw The Proposal, and finally got that one. I've still never seen. Well, now I'm going to show my ignorance here. I'll probably is Sleepless in Seattle a rom-com, or is that just more like a? Okay,
yeah, I mean,
it's a rom-com.
I wasn't the hugest fan of it, but yeah.
So anyway, I enjoy
that's it.
them.
That's the only classic rom-com Carson hasn't seen.
right. The rest of them got it. But no, like I really enjoyed this movie. Had a lot of fun with it. I sat down on Saturday night with the girl I've been seeing. It was just a perfect Saturday night date movie. And you also know that I really liked it because we stopped watching Game of Thrones because I had to watch this stupid movie for the podcast. And like 10 minutes into it, I had forgotten about Game of Thrones and was like into the movie and enjoying myself. And not resentful of the fact at all that I had to say goodbye to Bran and John and everyone else. So perfect Saturday night date movie. The highlight for me was the opening sequence with them as kids. A lot of really, some of the movies we've watched so far, we talked about this with Marriage Story, how like the opening scenes have just been really good. Don't let me compare this movie to Marriage Story. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I was really hooked. It's a scene with them as young, like middle school age kids probably. And the boy goes over to Sasha's house and asks if she wants to eat dinner with them. And then they have a really cute family dinner. And it's really the basis for the whole movie. And then there's this one line where, what's his name? Marcus, is that the main boy?
It is, yeah, the main man.
Yeah. At this point in the movie, a boy.
Oh, boy.
But Marcus asks his dad, he's like, can I have some money? And the dad's like, what? No, why do you need money? And he's like, I thought it would be fun for Sasha and me to go out. And it was just so tender and so fun and so pure. And just these kids out in the town, sort of on a date, sort of not, sort of just friends. And I loved it.
They were a real maybe as a couple. I couldn't quite figure them out. Oh, thank you. That's the podcast, everybody. Wow. See you next week.
13 minutes in, Chris has already ended the podcast twice.
Right. We'll see how many more times.
Do you want to be here, man? Like, Kyle and I can do this.
Yeah,
it's all right.
No, I'm good. I'm having a great time.
All right. Well, thanks, Carson, for those. I like your thoughts there. I know, Chris, you were mad. Do you have anything else to say about the film in general?
I think I could tease out a few more things. I think there's two main things to talk about when it comes to romantic comedies, and the hint is in the name. The romance and the comedy. Ooh. So I think let's start with the romance because it comes first.
I like it.
And really fast also, Carson, I thought the kid actors, the youngest version, because there was the teens as well, but the kid actors were really good. And it's always a crapshoot with kid actors. Sometimes they suck. But they didn't suck. They were quite good. Especially the little Marcus I thought was good.
Yeah, well spotted. Yeah.
I did not hate the kids.
Let it be known.
But okay, so the romance aspect of this two-part genre, I think really worked for me. I liked the chemistry between the two main characters, and the two main characters I think were the strongest written of all the characters. I'm going to get into some of my issues with a few of the side characters later, but I think that's super.
You're not going to badmouth Keanu Reeves.
No.
Okay.
But I think
take that
take
and walk to the door. You can just walk out right now.
Okay, podcast over. No. Because if you don't like the two leads together, then it's like, what are we even doing? And I like them as a couple quite a bit. So I'm glad that part resonated for me.
Okay, and the comedy aspect?
The comedy aspect didn't always work for me. I don't like. So I think a lot of the jokes. I know humor is subjective, which anyone can find
but
something
yours is
funny.
the best, right?
But I have a little trouble with that saying too, because it's like, isn't drama subjective? Like, isn't some really dumb drama plot like could work for someone? I guess like everything's subjective. But anyway, some of the jokes just didn't work for me in terms of, especially the side character jokes. I thought her assistant was just insufferable. The like third friend, the pregnant lady, she just I did all of her jokes felt totally flat for me. I just did not laugh once, and they're so cringy. And I don't like bashing actors because it's not. I don't think it's just her fault. I think it's the writing room and the directing and the editing knowing when to cut away from a joke. But
so you know
it just
that Ali Wong and Randall Park, the stars, were writers, the main writers.
Well, sure, they gave themselves all the good material.
I get that. Yeah,
as they should.
I mean, when I write out some notes for this podcast, I tend to give the good stuff to me and Chris.
Yeah.
And, good.
Yeah. Well, clearly, when I come,
I don't say thank you enough.
Yeah, it's obvious.
I have to say, what was Kyle? You're usually our like name guy. Who was the side woman who was pregnant that Chris is talking about?
Veronica was the character name. Are you looking for the actress
Yeah, Veronica's
name?
good.
Okay.
I laughed out loud at her joke where she was like, which one is real fiction or nonfiction? I sometimes I forget about. I can't keep them straight.
That one did work. Yeah, that was a good one.
I didn't deliver it as well as she did, but like I literally laughed out.
No, you delivered it about on par, I think.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry, Veronica. I'm trying to help you, Veronica.
I think Chris, circling back, I think you brought up a good point in the romantic comedy aspect and splitting them up, and sometimes it's good to parse it out. I think I tend in these movies to really like the romantic aspects better, just because I don't know, maybe I just want some romance in my life that is just absent. Because you guys, yeah, I don't know if that's getting a little too real, but no, and also okay. So I watched this the other day when I was hungover, which let's not get into that. But I think I might have just been a little more emotional than usual too, just because of that situation. And
did you cry during this movie?
There was at least one tear that like fell down.
When? What scene?
Well,
when he was throwing up. Oh, sorry. We're not supposed to get into it.
You're talking about that. No. Gosh. Okay. Yes, I threw up twice.
I made him cry again.
No, at the end, it was when she opened up the place Judy's Way, and it was spoilers, but like that really just touched me. It was like she would have loved, like it was the mom dies at the beginning of the movie. It's not really a spoiler, but like then they open up she opens up a restaurant named after her, and and then that just really hit me that it was so tender. It's just like, this is for your mom. This is like, she's like basically our mom, and she would have loved it. And that was like, I was like, wow, I'm far too hungover right now for this kind of emotional kind of impact.
What was the name of Ali Wong's character?
Sasha.
Why was Sasha so like mean's not the right word, but like out of touch as an adult? Like she seemed super normal and chill as a kid, and then all of a sudden she's like this super rich, like getting dark chocolate for kids.
Money changes you, man. I think. I don't know.
Is that all they were going for? Like she's all of a sudden kind of a jerk because of money? I guess.
No,
I'm not sure.
I guess in some sense, like I feel like we all know people in our lives that are like, you know, like mature in some sense, but like immature in other senses, and like really, you know, have it together professionally and like in the workplace, and just like are go-getters and have a good career. And then you hang out with them and you're like, wow, you're still like 12, like when you're outside of the office. I don't know. Like I don't know. That's not exactly what maybe that's why, like, I just feel like, but you're sort of criticizing more like her development. Like she just grew up as like a middle-class person in San Francisco, and now she doesn't know how to like, you know, give candy to little kids.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
I feel like it was just like they were making her character and thought, this is true of a lot of romantic comedies where it's the working woman who's totally married to the job and it's like kind of cold and has to meet this kind of goofball guy who melts her down. Like it just felt so tropey to me.
I don't know,
they grew up in the same place and he's this, I don't know, it just was strange to me.
I don't think you give her enough credit, because she like was really upset when like her fiance like left her and called off the wedding and everything. She was like really emotional. And then can you really kind of blame her when she's sometimes cold and lashes out and at times when that kind of heartbreak happens? I don't know. I don't know if I blame her as much in that regard.
I think I'm kind of on Chris's side. I hear the sort of like overplayed trope aspects of it. I do think what made this movie new and fun for me, besides the fact that admittedly I don't watch a ton of rom-coms, was just like the diversity of the cast, the diversity of the writing. Even a lot of the jokes and things felt like very San Francisco and also very grounded in Asian culture, like with the it was Marcus's family, they were Korean, I think, so like the sort of like Korean parenting, and they made some quips about that and just things that you wouldn't have in a normal movie, except unless that would be like really trite and borderline racist if it was from a writer who was not of that background. But they did it in kind of a fun, sort of tasteful way. I say that's the only thing that sort of like, elevates this movie from just the typical, like, we can bang this movie out in 2 weeks and then put it on Netflix sort of rom-com trope. But we've been talking about Sasha for a little bit. I have a few thoughts on Marcus I'd like to give, if that's all right.
Yeah, I'd like to jump in for a quick sec. The dude had some banging songs. I was a big fan.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you what you thought about his music.
His music was great.
Into it.
What?
No.
You have bad taste in music,
wow. Wow. Yeah,
you're gonna load that stuff up on your iPod. You're gonna get the old iTunes gift card that you still use and buy Marcus's.
Yeah,
what's the band name?
Hello Peril.
Who cares?
Hello Peril. Kyle.
Sure.
Yes, my guy.
Yeah.
I would 100% listen again to the I Punched Keanu Reeves song that played over the end credits. That song was great. It was a bop, and it made me sit there and tell Netflix, no, don't autoplay some random movie. I want to listen to and watch the credits.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a sign of a
Chris
good song.
Kaiser signed him up for tone-deaf, slow, monotone rap that just like uninspiring lyrics.
Wow.
Chris Kaiser, everybody.
You're coming in hard from my man Marcus. Damn.
Yeah, I did not see that. I was like, okay, Carson, like you're kind of defending the movie a little bit. Now you're really just like,
whew.
I don't know about you.
Got some Pitbull fire.
I don't know about you, friend. All right.
We're not friends. We're coworkers.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly not friends with Kyle.
Yeah.
But
you're all right, Carson.
Yeah, you're a good guy. Sorry about my music.
Wow.
That was too hard.
Hey,
that was too hard.
Teach their own, man. We're all good.
we good.
I know.
Right.
Kyle,
Hey,
please,
quiet.
Carson's talking. Come on.
So I just need to rag on Marcus a little more here. Oh my gosh, his style. And I know, like, I mean, what is he? He's just such a dork. What is he wearing? At one point, he was wearing this, like, button-up, like, short-sleeve t-shirt with, like, a puffy white long sleeve underneath. And I just was literally sitting there shaking my head. Just like, this was, like, your going out outfit. After, mind you, this is after he shows up to Sasha's new house in San Francisco in his like work overalls, and he just rocks it. He's like, doesn't seem embarrassed at all. He's just like, what? Yeah, my name's Marcus. It's on my overalls. Like,
that's his uniform.
Because he was working.
Yeah, well, I mean, what?
You're not saying, okay, come on. I know I'm being harsh, but put yourself in this situation. Say you like stayed at home from after high school. Spoilers, guys. The three of us went to high school together. Sorry, peek behind the curtain a little bit. Let's say
way to out us.
Yeah. All right.
you're where you didn't leave where we grew up. You're still in that small town, and you took a job.
San Francisco's not a small town. What are you talking about?
No, we're from a small town.
Oh, okay.
Just let me finish.
Okay.
And like your high school crush comes back. She's super successful. She's super rich. She just bought the biggest house in town. And then you show up not knowing anything about it, wearing your denim like work overalls. It has your name on it, like a doof. You're telling me you wouldn't be a little embarrassed just to walk in and be like, "Oh, shoot."
No, he takes pride in his job.
Yeah, I mean, what was he supposed to wear?
Man?
He didn't know it was her house. He had no idea it was her house.
You guys have never been.
This is the worst.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, Chris, but that's what's make it worse. You like walk in and you're surprised. It's like, oh my gosh, you're so rich and successful, and I'm just here.
Well, he knew that.
Wearing my work overalls. No, he didn't.
No,
the friend set it up.
Yeah.
He didn't know she was successful. She's a celebrity chef. She's like the Gordon Ramsay.
No. He knew, but he didn't know it was her house.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
But he knew she was successful.
Yes.
You guys are so wrong about this. The fan mail is going to be all supportive of
Well,
it. And you guys have no shame.
I would be
I'm the one who controls the fan mail.
To this part.
Yeah. You're never going to hear any of that. I'm opening one right now. It says Chris and Kyle are right. What a coincidence.
Carson's basically just admonishing a guy for wearing a uniform.
I know.
Work. This is crazy.
I know. Tell us about your thoughts on the post office people next. Does it bother you when they wear their UPS outfits when they knock on your door? I mean,
Carson, I literally wear like a flight suit to work every day, and it looks like, outside of any context, like pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. You damn doofus, Kyle. You look so stupid.
I'm not judging them for what they wear. I'm just saying, if you walked into a situation and that's what you were wearing and your high school crush was there looking all hot and famous and successful, you might be a little like, oh, I wish I'd worn something a little nicer.
So you're admonishing him now just for like not being embarrassed about his work, for just like, owning up to the fact that he works at his dad's like heat and sun and heat like thing. I just don't get this.
Look, I mean, this note was partly written as well. This part of the note, I mean, I stand by my destroying him for his long sleeve shirt underneath the buttoned up short sleeve. That I am admonishing him for. Okay. But I was more just like I was surprised at like his lack of embarrassment, like when he walked up to the house. That's all I'm saying. And frankly, I give him like plus points for confidence and swagger that he just sort of rocked it. And he was just like, what? These are my work denims. Yeah, whatever.
Hey,
it's got my name on it.
Marcus, if you're listening, we're proud of you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not proud of your music, but you got spunk. I'll give you that. Should we talk about Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, I feel like we have to. We've put it off way too long.
That was
the John Wick in the room we must address.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Lest he kill us all.
Whoa.
Did you guys know he was in this movie? You might have seen like a trailer or something.
I had no idea.
Really? Okay.
I realized I had never seen this movie. I realized after, because when they did the reveal, I was surprised, and then I remembered hearing about it back when this movie came out. But it was a surprise when he first showed up, so I forgot he was in this movie. So it was pretty exciting.
Yeah. So you guys liked it when he showed up?
Yeah, his intro with Sale playing and just he had his body language throughout the whole movie. His body language was so funny. Just how over the top he was, and it was really good.
Set it up for the listener at home. Like, what's his role in the movie? What's he doing?
Okay.
What is he?
Okay, so there's a point in the movie, like in any rom-com, where someone inevitably screws it up, and Marcus has done so with his relationship with Sasha. And so
in the overalls.
Okay, we're past that. But so Sasha gets back on the dating scene after they've split up, and maybe they hadn't even gotten together again. I can't even remember.
They hadn't gotten together. It's all right. She started seeing someone else.
Yeah. So she just is on the dating scene before Marcus professes his feelings for her, and then she tells him about this guy, and then she's like, "Come to dinner with us, and we'll make it a double date," because Marcus has this weird girlfriend, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But
maybe
can I cut in? And she gives a quite graphic description of the sex with Keanu Reeves that we will not repeat here. because this is a PG-13 podcast for all our underage listeners at home.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Yeah. We're very popular in the middle school demographic.
Anyway, check with your parents before you watch this movie. Go ahead, Kyle.
All right. And then anyway, so they go out to dinner and we're waiting on this guy who's shown up late. And then, as Chris said, Sale starts playing in slow-mo. In walks Keanu Reeves. And it just really like sets it off, this whole night of just Keanu Reeves playing himself, but just this not himself, just like an absolute really exaggerated version of some kind of hipster, hippie, weird, like kind of just free flowing Hollywood type.
Yeah.
Anyway,
my favorite quote of his. This is to Marcus. He said, "The only stars that matter are the ones you see when you dream." I really hit me to my core, man. I really feel what you're putting down.
Yeah. He would say stuff like that. It's worth watching, probably just for that, like all that stuff.
My favorite line of his is when they're playing like Truth or Dare or charades or whatever it is they're doing. I don't know. I thought it was Truth or Dare, but then
Vice something. It was like Truth or Dare mixed with like Never Have I Ever, sort of.
There was like questions written down in a bowl, and then they were reading slips of paper that had questions on them.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the questions was about killing someone else in the room, and he's just like, "I would kill Marcus."
Yeah,
with unprompted.
Yeah.
This is good. I
think we should play that game.
The rest of this podcast is just going to be us praising Keanu Reeves. I'd like to do the next one.
Go ahead.
My favorite scene of his was during the dinner. He orders the veal, and you get to listen to the sounds of the cow that you're currently eating, and he
starts crying.
He's just sobbing, saying "I'm sorry," as you can hear the moose coming through his headphones, and then he takes big bites of it. It was really great. I was crying. This is part of the movie where the comedy. Everything with Keanu Reeves and everything surrounding Keanu Reeves totally
just worked.
I was cracking up the whole time.
I mean, what do we think about like that was like 2019 was huge for Keanu Reeves, right? And I mean, kind of just this late renaissance of Keanu Reeves has been just really something to behold. And this has just was a small part of it.
He apparently had heard one of Ali Wong's stand-up specials and really liked it. And so he was their first choice. And when they reached out, he was happy to do it. And he actually flew from New York, where he was filming John Wick 3, flew to San Francisco for like 2 days of shooting, and then flew back to finish the other film. So
that's amazing.
It was really cool.
Thanks for looking into that.
Doing a favor for someone he really admired.
Yeah, that's super cool. Wish you guys would do me favors.
Wow. I mean, you're an intern. Why would we do that?
Look, my only friend on the podcast, Chris.
Yeah.
Can you do something about this guy? I mean, help.
I never wanted to get rid of Jorge. I don't know why you did that unilaterally.
I have a question. Wait, Kyle, when you gave the intro to this and you said 2019 Year of Our Lord, I almost interrupted and wanted to be like, who the hell is your Lord? But was that a reference to Keanu? Was that what that was?
It was. You saw right through that.
That's a lie. So. That was just a bad joke, and it's paying off for you now.
Nice one, dude. Smart.
It wasn't even meant to be a joke. It's like people say 29, like the year of our Lord. Like,
who says that? Name one person who says that.
I mean, someone at the top of the podcast said it, I think. I don't know.
Touche. I have another question.
Yeah.
Is there a higher level of strut in any aspect of life than when you're an actor and you just get to come in and play an exaggerated version of yourself in a movie or a TV show? Like, are there comparable peaks in other ventures in life where you're just out there just like, yeah, I did it. Like, it's 2019, year of Keanu. Like,
I guess
I'm just out here playing myself.
I guess for like a musician, it would be getting a guest invite to the Super Bowl halftime show or something would be pretty comparable.
Oh, oof.
He's saying Pitbull's not strutting.
I
gotta put my mic down for a sec. You guys go from here.
Okay, Kyle, I have a question. Carson got to just rag on my boy Marcus, so let me do the same for Sasha.
Ooh.
The whole the whole kind of inciting incident for this movie was his mom had died, and she was like a mom figure to Sasha as well.
Mm-hmm.
They have sex, and they go to Burger King, and he kind of explodes at her. I forget the exact details of the argument, but they get in a fight. Yeah, and that causes a 16-year rift between the two. That through the course of the movie, then we see them repair and get together.
Mm-hmm.
Why, when he first shows up at her door looking like a slob with his work outfit, why?
With no shame.
Why? Yeah, why? Shameless. Like
I'm back, by the way. I'm back.
Why is she so angry with him? Like, I understand he was probably at fault in the moment, but it's been 16 years, and with a little perspective, don't you think she'd realize he had just lost his mom? And I know it was hard for her too, but like maybe after 16 years, you don't come with so much vinegar to someone after such kind of a minor, like they were friends for so long, and one argument at Burger King ruined it for 16 years. Yeah. It seemed a little silly to me.
I mean, that's how me and Carson's friendship fell apart, right? Burger King fallout.
A number of the details of the story are not the same. I
was gonna say, tell me more about.
I was literally
go down this rabbit hole.
The Burger King aspect, but I realize my error now. In that we did not have sex beforehand. That's on me. Should have thought about it just 1 second longer.
Well, I'm sorry things didn't work out romantically for the two of you, but I mean.
Okay, let's move on, please.
Okay.
For my sake.
Do you think, Carson, are we at the point? Any last thoughts on the movie, or should we go to the Notebook?
Yeah, Kyle, you good? Notebook?
Let's. You don't note anything.
Okay, Jesus. Chris,
note country for old men.
Yeah, I like that one.
Notes Ferratu, it's back. Chris, give us your first note.
I think my favorite joke in the whole movie, and it had nothing to do with Keanu, if you can believe it, was I think they were teens. I forget at what point it happened, but she was asking him how he knew to put on a condom. I think it was in the car right after the sex.
Yeah.
And she's like, he told her about, the class with the banana and the condom. And she goes, did you use a banana at home? And he said, well, I didn't need a banana at home in terms of like practicing putting on a condom. I thought that was a pretty clever joke.
That was good.
I'll go next. My favorite joke, which wasn't even a joke, it was just sort of an offhand comment from the movie, was when Sasha's talking about this like Netflix premiere gig that she's like catering, and she's like, yeah, it's like Kevin James' new series where he's starring as a young Ben Franklin. In the interim, I have prepared a whole fanfic of Kevin James appearing as young Ben Franklin. So we'll have that produced and ready to go for next episode.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, cool.
You couldn't get it ready for this episode?
Well, I know I've been trying to do lots of amalgamations.
Okay. A lot of
like famous quotes of both of them. Yeah, so with Ben Franklin, I'm sort of thinking like, well done is better than well said. But
the place
Kevin
for
James,
everything and everything in its place, right?
Right, exactly, yeah. And
it got bumped for Carson's gripe section.
Right, I spent way more time on that. The poetry of my anger. Yeah, that's true. Kyle, any notes?
I got a note. This is not like about the comedy at all. This is about the romantic aspect, like I said before.
Hey, that's half the battle.
That's right. And this it really hit me this was when Marcus like kind of blew it by being kind of a coward. Because actually that's how the scene ends, when she's going down to the car and he's still up on the balcony, and she turns around and she's like, and it's kind of a nice reversal a lot of the time too. She's like, the power's in her hand. She's like, I love you, Marcus, but like you got to step out of your comfort zone. It's like, come with me to New York and like help me open my restaurant. We can like be together. And he's like, no. And then she's like, coward. And I'm like, oh God, I'm like, Marcus, why? And I'm like, it just hit me, man. I felt that. I don't know. So like I said, not funny, but I really liked that kind of speech from her about just she was like not afraid to admit she loved him, but also she's like, I have my life to live.
Yeah, Kyle had never heard that line in a movie before. He thought it was actually very creative and well pointed.
Yeah, I love you.
I love you. Right.
Oh, hey, I love you
Wow.
too, guys.
Okay. I think Carson was hinting that no one's ever said they love me.
Wow.
I was not. Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
I'm so sorry.
Carson's coming out fiery tonight.
Oh my god, I did not mean that at all.
All right, well.
Man.
Whatever happened between you guys in that car all those years ago, obviously it's still pretty raw. So
it was a Burger King, Chris. Let it go.
Okay, I have another note. This movie really was focused on food and food culture, which I thought was neat. A couple reasons, especially being an immigrant family. I think food's important, especially in some cultures. But some of my favorite dishes that were from the film: fish sauce ice cream, Glenn Close's pineapple sandwich order, and the flavor of Caesar salad.
The flavor of Caesar
restaurant.
salad. That was hilarious.
I would order / try all of those dishes, especially Glenn Close's pineapple sandwich. Sounds
What
awesome.
is that? What do you even think that is?
I think you could have fun with it, but I think at the end of the day, Kyle, it's a pineapple sandwich, 2 bread and some pineapple.
But you think that's it?
It could be. It could be more. That's the beauty of it.
Wow.
We don't know. It's a secret recipe.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to call Glenn.
She
and
keeps
find
it
out.
Glenn close to her heart. Okay. Enough of that. Carson?
Okay. I'm surprised, Chris, that I got to give this note and that you didn't steal it from me.
Huh?
But big shouts to our boy Daniel Day Kim.
Yep.
Lost's own.
Mm-hmm.
It was sad he was sort of the villainous, distant, older, rich man that didn't work out as a love interest figure in this film. But his first, I think, big breakout role was Jin on the hit television show Lost.
Was that his first role? I guess maybe in the U.S. his first role.
I think it was his first breakout role. I was doing research today, and he started. I guess he got a bunch of early hits, like as a character on Law and Order. But then I think Lost was at least one of his first like big things. I think he did movies before Lost, but anyway, doesn't matter. When I finished the movie, I immediately stayed up and watched all 6 seasons of Lost again. So
good.
Thanks for being in my life, Daniel Day Kim.
Yeah, that's a great decision. Just for the record, this is a pro Lost podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And we will go to war and fight anyone who ever says anything bad about the show. And I'm not kidding. Do not send fan mail questioning anything.
We're pro 6th season of Lost too. To be incredibly clear about this. Yeah. So just stop listening now if you thought the end of Lost was stupid.
We don't want you.
Because it wasn't. It really wasn't.
We don't want you as a listener. I would rather have 0 people listen to this than have any Lost slander.
That's right.
Oh.
The only reason I'm here is because what?
Oh no! Okay, he's still here. Okay, good. I thought we just lost Kyle in that moment.
Kyle, do you have another note, or can I jump in? Can I jump in the line here? Because I got a burning note.
Chris, you sound like you really need to get this note off your chest.
Oh, I do. Do you guys remember the baby shower scene from the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the theme of the baby shower? It was zoo themed.
Zoo, yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, Kyle, because you're the intern, so if I ever have a baby, you're setting up the baby shower. I want a zoo, not just a zoo-themed baby shower. I want a We Bought a Zoo themed baby shower. And you better believe I expect Matt Damon to be there.
Chris, I will do everything in my power.
Good. I'm happy.
To make that happen for you.
Yeah, perfect. It can't be that hard. I mean, how busy can he be?
No.
He started We Bought a Zoo.
He did We Bought a Zoo. He clearly doesn't have a lot going on.
Yeah, right. He's desperate.
I've never wanted one of us to have a child more than to have a We Bought a Zoo themed baby shower. Oh, jeez. Kyle, any notes?
I think you guys hit all of them. I think I'm out of notes.
I got one last note.
Kyle's notebook had a single note.
I have one.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not as diligent a note taker. I just kind of go by feel, and I like this movie. There's my note.
Good. That's a good one.
Oh, that.
It's like at a certain point, like, why do you bring the effort of like bringing a notebook to watch it with you? You might as well just see what you remember at that point.
You just wrote
thing down.
You just wrote good. Took him one whole page.
Yeah,
Good.
good. No, good. It went across the page. It was like 20 O's.
And then he wrote coward, frowny face.
Yeah. Oh man, that hurt. That stung deep, man.
I want to return to Keanu Reeves playing himself for my last note. I was trying to think of the last time I saw this in a movie, and it would probably have to be one of my favorites. Julia Roberts, Ocean's 12. And there it's sort of more like hinted at without explicitly stated. But like, you know, the whole plot is like her, like, you know, they do a heist to like get into an art vault, and she's the distraction because it's Julia Roberts there, and she attracts a lot of press. And anyway, not a great movie, but I love the Ocean's movies overall, and it reminded me of that.
Mainly, I my note is still not a note, but I'm just mainly happy that you guys let me pick this movie and that you watched it and that you guys were good friends.
First time, last time, probably, but.
I thought I know I shouldn't have pushed it so hard so fast. That really needs to be better phrased. Chris, I have a surprise for you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's about time for a little musical jingle to intro everyone's favorite section. So, what do you hit me with it, buddy?
All right, my friend. All right.
Anytime.
Mailbag.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That was great. That was a really good effort, Kyle. We can workshop it later. I'll call you.
Yeah, we're up in the effort. The execution is still to come.
All right. So, as always, we get thousands of mailbag submissions, letters, emails, tweets, all that kind of stuff. So I picked one. This was a handwritten letter. Looks like written in crayon. And it's from Davy, age 8, from Richland, Virginia. And
wait, Davy, like Davy Hate? Is that
no age 8? Davy, age 8. No,
age 8. Okay,
sorry. I know that's probably on me.
Okay.
Okay. So Davy, our friend, wrote, "Dear Chris, Carson, and Kyle, you guys are my favorite. My mommy always lets me stay up listening to the new episodes. I like movies." Hey, don't laugh at Davy. "They are fun and have loud noises and bright colors. Anyway, what do you like most about being on a podcast?"
Wow,
That's
Davy Hate.
Are you?
That's
no. Sorry, Davy did not give a last name. It is actually, but he could be Hate. I don't know, but he's age 8.
All right, Kyle, what do you have to say to Davy Hate? What do you like about being on the podcast?
Wow. Really?
Think hard about this answer because it could determine your future here.
Well, I was just going to say really that since you gave the floor to me first, I'll go with it's really just hearing from fans like you, Davey, that make this all worthwhile. And it makes me happy to know that people are out there listening and that you guys care enough to write in. So keep doing so. Wow, that means a lot. Sorry, getting a little choked up.
I would have used, if I were you, Kyle, I would have used that opportunity to really praise your bosses. But, you know, it's each their own. Suck up to an 8-year-old, whatever.
Yeah. Mr. Hate, thanks for writing in. I enjoy the podcast just because it's a chance to talk to my friend Chris and other work colleagues.
Yeah, and I hate being here, so I really I feel like this question doesn't apply to me. So.
Thanks, Davey.
Thanks,
Keep writing.
Davey.
I don't know.
Do you need an outro jingle?
No.
It's going to be the same jingle. If you ask for it.
Really no. I'm good. No, thank you.
Wait, is that all the mail?
Well, I mean, I could read another one. Sorry, do you want me to read a second mail? This has never been done.
Well, Why not?
Well, it's either that or dive into Kyle's love life, which I was going to ask about. I felt like we sort of
Chris,
talked about that.
I think you got
earlier.
more mail. I thought
it's
right?
funny to say. This one kind of ties into Kyle's love life. This next one.
Oh wow!
My God,
is it also from Davey?
No,
okay,
please stop. We're gonna stop that right now. He's only 8 years old, so no. This is from not all the people who write in use their real names. So this is like a screen name or something. I'm not sure. And it's I Could Be Your Laura Dern is the name of this writer.
Oh my
Directly to Kyle.
Wow, actually,
And
I'm interested.
It says, Kyle, you are a beautiful soul who doesn't have to be alone anymore. I understand you. I get you. More than those other two idiots, wow, ever will.
Wow.
Inside, I put a picture of myself I think you will enjoy. Write me back. I must have you. And I gotta tell you, Kyle, I'll send you this. I'll send on this picture to you, but it is extremely graphic. So,
well,
there's not really a question there, I guess, but
no question. But I'll respond just to say I don't really agree with the kind of the bad talk he or she was giving you guys. I don't know who this was.
Yeah.
And only you have the picture at the moment, but I just want to say that you guys didn't deserve what was said about you right there.
Oh, thanks, man.
Did I do good?
You did fine.
You did good.
Yeah.
Meh, as Chris says. Meh.
Meh.
Well,
that's it. Meh. Always be my meh.
Podcast over.
Yeah. Surprisingly.
But for real this time, the podcast is over. Wow, geez, time to cut me off and really turn the mic off here.
Kyle, how about we end with a just off the cuff, really funny one-liner from you?
No.
All right.
From everyone here at Straight to VHS, I'm Carson. He's Chris. He's also Kyle.
Hey-o.
And if your back seat smells like Parmesan, just remember, that's probably because there's Parmesan. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.